is ABC27 News at 11.
Hey, good evening. I'm Dennis Owens.
I'm Valerie Pritchett. Alicia is off. It's election night in Pennsylvania, and the results are rolling in.
All eyes on the 163rd State House District in Delaware County, which could decide the balance of power in the State House. Democrats needed the seat to keep their majority in Harrisburg. Heather Boyd, the Democrat, Katie Ford, the Republican. Understanding the statewide stakes, we hosted a debate of these two candidates a few weeks ago. It is a heavily Democratic district, but Democrats had to spend a lot of money defending the seat. Ford, the Republican, raised eyebrows by calling herself pro-choice and anti-Trump, but that message didn't resonate. Democrats are going to maintain that majority in the House. Heather Boyd victorious tonight by a surprisingly easy 62 to 36% margin.
One other special election in the State House is in the 108th District, which is Montour and Northumberland counties. It's open because Lisa Schlegel Culver won a state Senate seat. This is a heavy Republican district, so no surprise, Michael Stender was an easy winner. What is a surprise is that Stender is a full-time Harrisburg firefighter. He drives a truck out of the station on 16th and State Streets, and now he is going to move down to the Capitol building on 3rd and State. Dennis caught up with him tonight after the polls closed.
It's very humbling, right? As somebody who has protected and served, and a lot of times, you know, being a firefighter, you do it under some anonymity, and now I'm going to get to serve. So it's pretty exciting at this point. It's surreal.
With 3 daughters and a full-time State House job, Stender says he'll likely have to give up the fighter-fighting gig.
Cumberland County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state, also bursting at the seams. The Republican slate seeking to be county commissioner, 2 positions, 9 GOP candidates. Republicans Gary Eichelberger and Vince DeFilippo are the incumbents, but an intra-party squabble had the county GOP endorsing Nate Silcox and Kathy Niederer. Throw in a handful of others and you have this. Take a look. Niederer a winner, so is incumbent Eichelberger, who nudged Silcox by just 49 votes. DeFilippo is out. The 2 Republicans will face Democrat incumbent Jean Fauci and John Smith in November general election. The top 3 will then be commissioners.
And there is a vacant seat on the state Supreme Court, and Dan McCaffrey has won the Democratic primary tonight. He defeated Deborah Kunzelman in the 2-way race. Both currently sit on the state Superior Court. And in November, McCaffrey will face either Republican County Judge Carolyn Carluccio, she has been leading all evening, or Commonwealth Court Judge Patricia McCullough. Democrats hold a 4-2 majority on the state's highest court. There's also an open seat on the Commonwealth Court. 4 candidates are running, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and one of them is from the Mid-State.
That's right. Our Sarah Wilson caught up with Republican Megan Martin in her home, Cumberland County, tonight. She joins us live in studio with more. Sarah.
Valerie, Dennis, Martin is up against fellow Republican Joshua Prince. She is leading with 64% of the vote. That's about 400,000 ballots compared to Prince, who has just over 224,000.
I'm very excited. This is my first ever campaign for any kind of elective office.
1 seat, 4 candidates for the Commonwealth Court. Megan Martin is one of them. Pennsylvania's first female Senate Secretary Parliamentarian turned first-time candidate, lives in the Mid-State and was endorsed by statewide Republicans.
We have been to 14 different polling locations.
But all of them have one thing in common: low voter turnout, something off-year primaries are notorious for.
It's a little bit disappointing, but I'm so thrilled for the people who did come out.
Spencer Landon was one of them. He's a first-time voter and a big believer that local elections are just as important as national ones.
They're the ones that are creating the rules and making the decisions for what impact us in our local communities rather than just the country as a whole.
Landon voted in Lancaster, just like tens of thousands of others, including those who mailed in. The county says it mailed out about 22,000 ballots and has gotten roughly 17,000 back. But there was a major issue with the original ones sent out in April. The county discovered an error and nearly 19,000, scrambling to tell voters to throw them out, and wait for replacements. I asked Martin's opinion of mail-ins, which many of her fellow Republicans have disparaged.
Mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania are legal, and I think that the people in Pennsylvania should feel comfortable using them, and I would just recommend that they do so.
I spoke with Lancaster County's communication director about 5 minutes ago. He says no ballot issues have been reported. Valerie?
Thank you, Sarah. Voter turnout is typically low in an off-year primary. We won't know just how low until all those votes come in and the numbers are crunched. That's according to new Secretary of State Al Schmidt, a former Philadelphia elections official. He says across the Commonwealth, there were typical issues here and there. He called those fairly routine with no major problems to report, other than not enough Pennsylvanians showing up to vote.
I want to thank all the Pennsylvanians who took the time out to vote this election day. As Thomas Jefferson said, we have government by the majority who participate, and we're grateful for their participation.
Schmidt said there were 800,000 mail-in and absentee ballot requests across the state, and about 75% were returned.
But things did not go smoothly in York County's Conewago Township District 1. As a result, voters got a few extra hours to vote tonight. A judge ruled that anyone in line by 9:30 p.m. could vote provisionally. The problem started this morning when a utility company's construction work closed a lane in front of the polling place. By mid-afternoon, the crews closed the entire road down and no one could access the building. Saying they wanted to be fair, officials decided to give voters additional time to cast ballots. I spoke with the county COO about it tonight. Yeah, how does a road get closed in front of a polling place on election?
That's a good question. I don't know that I have a good answer to that. We typically, in order to avoid these types of issues, we would put out a request for people to notify us of any projects that are going on, so we can assess whether they're near a polling place, whether they may interfere with voting in some way. So we take steps to deal with this issue beforehand. In this case, we just weren't made aware of it.
Monsky wouldn't say which utility company shut that road down. He did say both Republicans and Democrats agreed to the extended hours and a judge signed off on it. Well, 6 York County precincts use new technology today. They are called e-poll books, made by the technology company No Ink. Instead of tables and books separated into alphabetical order, poll workers have a special tablet for people to sign in. The goal, to get people in and out quicker to cut down on lines. The county says this was a trial run. About 25% of Dauphin County precincts use that technology as well.
Lancaster County has already dealt with issues related to mail-in ballots sent out a few weeks ago. A printing error. Last month, the county found an error in close to 19,000 mail-in ballots. Voters are supposed to choose up to 2 candidates in a Superior Court race, but the ballot wrongly said pick one. The county told voters to throw out those ballots and wait for replacements. We asked the county communications director if it caused any problems today. He says there were no new issues, and the county has received about 16,000 mail-in ballots. And we will have more results later in the show. For now, you can go to our website, abc27.com/election for results.